everyone, welcome back to the channel. This week we're going to be doing something slightly different, but it's something I've wanted to do on the channel for a while, and that is going to be a character ranking video. I think there is no better way to start off a new video series like this than ranking some of the characters from my favorite series, Pierce Brown's Red Rising. So, like I said in my 2022 channel plans video, I wanted to do some different types of content, so this is going to be the first of that new content, and I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, please do not forget, like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you do not miss anything. It's pretty obvious this list is going to be completely subjective. The way I think I'm going to run this is as we're going through each character, I'll give a pretty brief explanation as to why I'm putting them on the list where they are. If you guys have completely different placings of these characters, please let me know. I want to hear where you guys rank each of these characters as we're going through. I will also leave a link to the site I'm going to be using for the ranking. You guys can make your own ranking list, and if you do, please send them to me. I want to see what you guys think if you've read the Red Rising series before. So, with all that out of the way, let's get started. Alright guys, here is the tier list we're going to be using. As you can see, it's got a bunch of the Red Rising characters, and we're gonna rank them. Alright guys, so starting out the list, at number 1, we have Idris Augustus / the Jackal. This is a hard character to talk about. Personally, I think Pierce Brown did a great job with the character, but he wrote him in such a way, from the moment you meet the character, you absolutely hate him. He feels so smug and superior to everyone else, but Pierce Brown does such a good job at characterizing him as just this arrogant person, and some of the stuff he does, I'm not going to spoil a lot of the stuff he does because it's very important for the series, but some of the stuff he does is so brutal, so traumatic that he is going on the worst. Not necessarily that he's a bad character, but because he's just so well written as a villain that he is just the worst. He deserves to be on that. Number 2 is going to be Aja Grimace. Same as the Jackal, actually. She is connected to some of the most brutal character deaths. She just rubs me the wrong way. She is connected to some of the character deaths of my favorite characters in the series. She is going on the worst list. Taking the number 3 spot is going to be Ajax. The same thing. Pierce Brown does such a good job at making us hate Ajax that he's going in the worst category. We have Alexander Arcos for number 4, and finally, a character that I actually very much enjoy. He's very much a more idealistic Darrow, and he's more Darrow from the beginning of the series, like full of energy and willing to do what he believes is right. So he is going in the love them category. He's not quite iconic, but he is a really good character. So after Alexander, we have Antonia. You wrote this character? Okay, this character is one of the villains that Pierce Brown does a really good job at making us hate. And when I mean hate, I absolutely despise Antonia for what she does to Victra. She is going into the worst category. Okay, taking number 6 is going to be Apollonius. Now, Apollonius as a character, I actually very much enjoy. He's not as villainous as the Golds, but he's just such a fun character. The way Pierce Brown writes him is really fun to read because he's just so over the top and crazy, but he isn't evil. He's more chaotic than anything else. So he's gonna go next to Alexander in the love them category. Next we have Atalantia. Now, she is connected to some of the worst character deaths in the series, and I just hate her, particularly in Dark Age, for what she does. I hate her character. Not necessarily that she's badly written character, she's pretty cool, but the way Pierce makes her a villain, you definitely want her to fall. So she is going to be joining some of the rest of the Golds in the worst category. Next up is going to be Atlas Al-Ra. As far as Atlas goes, for me personally, I don't have too much of an attachment for Atlas because he's not in the series a whole lot. He really only is important during Dark Age, and even in Dark Age, he doesn't do a whole lot. He's connected to Lysander, but he's a really good character. I'm gonna put him in a he's alright. He's really good, but I don't love him as a character particularly. Next, we're gonna go with Callaway. He's one of those characters that's kind of in the background. He doesn't do a whole lot. He's very much a stand-in for Orion after what happens to Orion in Dark Age. He kind of takes Orion's spot. So I'm gonna put him next to Apollonius in the he's alright category. Next, we have the man himself, Cassius Bologna. I absolutely adore Cassius. He's such a fun character to read. Now that he's more or less on his redemption arc in Iron Gold and Dark Age, I absolutely love Cassius, and even during the main series, he was always such a really cool character that he is going into the iconic category, the first one to take that spot. We're gonna skip this one because I can't remember who this is. Next, we're going to get to Dancer, and Dancer is a really good character, and I really do enjoy him. In Dark Age and Iron Gold, he doesn't have a whole lot to do. He gets a little bit, but not a whole lot. His main thing is more in the original 3 books, but he's still a really good character, and I'm gonna put him in the they alright category. Finally, the big man himself, Darrow of Lycos. So, the main character, obviously, he is the best. He is awesome. I love what Pierce does from his character development standpoint. He's just a solid character all around, and I cannot wait to see what he does in the next book with Darrow, and I kind of suspect that it's going to be very, very heartbreaking. I am going to put him in his rightful spot next to his brother Cassius in the iconic category. Next, we are going to have Daxo Altanamanos. Daxo is a good character. I never got too attached to him, but he's still pretty cool. He's really good friends with Virginia / Mustang, so he is a good character. I'm going to put him in the he's alright category. He's a good character, he just doesn't do a whole lot. Next, we are going to have Darrow's mother, Deanna. She's one of those characters that doesn't do a whole lot, and I don't get too emotionally attached to her, so I'm going to put her in the meh category, just because she doesn't do a whole lot. Next, we are going to have Dido Aura. She's one of those characters we get introduced to her during Iron Gold when Lysander and Cassius go to visit the Rim. She's part of that whole thing. I'm going to put her next to Deanna in the meh category, just because she barely does anything. Next, we are going to have Diomedes Aura. Diomedes never struck me as a very particularly likable character, and again, he doesn't do a whole lot, so I'm going to put him next to Deanna. I'm going to put him in the meh category. Alright, next we are going to have the Duke of Hands. I don't love his character. I mean, I don't absolutely despise his character, but he's like, meh. I'm going to put him in the meh category, just because I don't particularly like him either way. Next, we are going to have Electra, Sevro's daughter, and I absolutely love Electra. She is such a fun character. I really hope she gets some really good character moments in the next book, and I love her interactions with Pax. She's such a good character, so I'm gonna put her in the love them category. Next, we are gonna have Io, the girl who started it all. I kind of feel conflicted. I either want to put her in the meh or they're alright category, and I'm leaning towards putting her more into the they're alright, just because she did set off Darrow's character development, but she never really did anything else. I mean, I get that she's the whole point of Darrow's character development. That's all she does. It's important. I get that. You did the one job, and that was all you needed to. Alright, next we are going to have Ephraim. Ephraim kind of grew on me as the last 2 books have gone on. He was pretty funny in Iron Gold and in Dark Age. Ephraim was one of the standout new characters that we got to follow. I'm actually going to put him in the love them category, just because he really is very funny and does a really good job at writing Ephraim's comedy. Next, we are going to have Evie. Not a whole lot to say about her. I'm going to put her in the meh category, just because she doesn't do a whole lot. She's not instrumental in anyone's character development or anything. She's fine for purpose she serves in the series. Next, we are going to have Vichner Al Barker. He is awesome. I love his nonchalant attitude to everything, and he's so funny, particularly in the first book when he's acting as the proctor for Darrow and the rest of them. He is hilarious. I'm gonna put him in the love them category just because he's such a good character. Next, we are going to have Harmony. Harmony is one of those characters that Pierce Brown does an excellent job at making us absolutely hate. She starts out as an ally to the Rising, but she loses her way and completely just goes off the rails. She is responsible for arguably one of the worst deaths in the entire series, and that's saying something. So I'm gonna put her in the worst. Next we got Holiday T Nakamura. She was a pretty cool character. I really enjoyed her character. I never necessarily got super attached to her, but I still liked her as a character, and her brother Treg was really cool. So I'm gonna put Holiday, I think, I'm gonna put her there. Just because I like her as a character, but I'm not overly attached to her. Julien Bologna, Cassius's brother. The death that probably rattles Darrow the most is definitely Julien's, because it was the first time that Darrow had to kill someone in order for his mission to succeed. The way Pierce writes Julien, the kid's not a bad kid. He's just a product of the society. He's part of a society that does not value his strengths, which is being a good person. So his death is so heartbreaking in the series, so I am going to put him in the love them category, just because he's such a great character that had so much potential. I'm heartbroken that Julien had to die. Next, we are going to have Calendora. Calendora is connected to a lot of some of the bigger deaths, particularly in Iron Gold. The thing is, I don't necessarily hate her as much as I do the people I have in the worst category, so I think I'm gonna put her in the meh, just because I don't despise her quite as much as I do the others that are in the worst category. And that's kind of about it. Next, we got Carnus Bologna, Cassius and Julien's brother. He was a very interesting character. He was sort of this secondary villain for Darrow to face off while he was in the academy during the war games and stuff. But he doesn't do a whole lot. He gives Darrow a couple of key pieces of advice. Other than that, he doesn't do a whole lot. So I think I'm gonna put him in the meh category. Just because, again, he doesn't do a whole lot in the series. Now we have the big man himself, Kavax Telemanis. I absolutely love this guy. He is such a good character, so funny. He is such a fun character to read. I really hope whatever Pierce has planned for him isn't too brutal. The guy deserves some sort of happy ending, but I don't know if he's gonna give it to him. So he is going to very easily go up into the love them category. Next we got Lyria. She was one of the very early Howlers. She doesn't do a whole lot, so I'm gonna throw her in the meh category. She doesn't do really anything. Now we got Lilith Alfaron, the Jackal's right hand, I guess, if you want to say that. So she is definitely connected to a lot of the crazy stuff that goes down in the series, and I absolutely despise her for a lot of what she does. So I'm gonna throw her in the worst, just because I really don't like this character for what she does. Next up, we got Lorne Arcos Stoneside himself. Just like Kavax, I absolutely love this character. He's kind of this Sean Connery type character where he's like real stoic, really smart, but still a very good person. So I'm going to throw him next to Kavax in the love them category. He's very close to making the iconic list placing, but not quite. He's still a very good character, and I really love him, but not quite enough to throw him into iconic. Alright, next we got Lyria. If we were just specifically talking during Iron Gold, I would have thrown her in the meh category, but she kind of grew on me during Dark Age. She has a pretty cool arc with Victra. Her character's grown on me, so I'm gonna throw her in the she's alright category. Lysander Lorne. I do not like this character. If I ever do character breakdowns, I might do one on Lysander Lorne. Let me know if you guys would be interested in that. Absolutely, I hate this character's guts. I hate him because he takes what Cassius gives him and throws it away. I absolutely hate Lysander. So he is very much going to go down into the worst category. I hate him. Next we got Mateo. He's kind of one of those characters that doesn't do a whole lot, so I'm gonna throw him in the meh category. He's a good character for what he is, but he's not really that interesting of a character. Now we got the master carver himself, Mickey. I absolutely love this guy. I feel like if I was to fan cast Mickey, I would absolutely put like just some over-the-top actor into that position, because I absolutely would love to see him as some like super flamboyant, over-the-top person, and I'm gonna throw him in the love him category just because I really do enjoy his character and he is pretty funny. Next we got Moira Grimace, Aja's sister. Moira is one of those characters where you don't get to see her a whole lot, and even when you do see her, it's not that impressive, so I'm gonna throw her in the meh category. If we had more to her and she had done some more things, I might have put her anywhere else. She just doesn't do a whole lot, so I'm throwing her in the meh category. Finally, we've got Virginia Augustus / Mustang. I am going to throw her next to her husband and Cassius in the iconic category because she is such a good character. I think Pierce Brown did an awesome job at writing Virginia. She is awesome. I just really hope that she gets a really good character arc in the next book, because her character is really good, and if Pierce Brown can bring her character home and give her a satisfying character arc for the next book, I'm going to be really happy with that. Next we have her father, Nero Augustus, the man who set all this into motion. I'm going to throw him in the worst category, not just because he has done some pretty heinous things, but because he treats Mustang so bad. He just demeans her at every opportunity, and I absolutely am throwing him in the worst category. Next we've got Octavia Lorne. She's connected to some of the worst things and is the main villain for the series, and I absolutely despise her character for what she does, and that is why Octavia Lorne is going into the worst list with a bunch of the other golds. Next up we got Orion the Aquarii, and Orion was a pretty cool character. I enjoyed Orion as a character, but I never fell in love with Orion too much, so I'm gonna throw him in the they alright category. He's pretty cool. Next we got Pax and Ragnar. And this guy, I love his character. For as short of a time he's into the series for, I absolutely love him. So he's gonna go easily get the iconic spot. So we're gonna skip these couple, and then we're gonna jump right to Quinn. So Quinn doesn't do a whole lot in the series. She is one of the original Howlers, and she is a pretty cool character, but she doesn't do a whole lot, and I never found her too interesting, so I'm gonna throw her in the meh category. Now we've got the man, the myth, the legend himself, Ragnar Valaris, and by Howler rule, he is going to claim his spot in Valhalla at the iconic spot. I absolutely love Ragnar. He's so fun. I cannot express just how much the Howler community just loves Ragnar. He's such a good character, and I really enjoy him, and he by all means deserves to be in the iconic spot. We're going to be talking about Rona. She's a cool character. She's grown on me as the series continues. She's become pretty cool, and I'm going to throw her in the alright category just because she hasn't done anything to have me attached to her too much, but she still is a very good character overall. So that's why she's going to make it to the alright category. We're going to be talking about Romulus Ra for this next one. So, Romulus is one of the characters from the Rim that we meet during Dark Age, and he's a pretty cool character. I liked his character arc, but he's not someone I got too attached to. I'm going to throw him in the meh category, not because he's a bad character, but just because he doesn't do anything. He doesn't do anything worthwhile in the series, and he just kind of serves his role. Time to talk about Roque Fabii. I do not like this character. He's one of those characters where the fandom definitely hates him, and I totally agree that Roke totally deserves the hate he gets, and I absolutely agree 100%. Not that he's a badly written character. Pierce does a very good job at trying to get us to understand why Roke does what he does. You cannot convince the Red Rising fandom not to hate this character. So he is going into the worst category. Next we got Harnassus. He's kind of one of those characters that is kind of there. I never got too attached to him. So he's going to go in the meh category. He's kind of there. I don't particularly care for his character one way or the other. Next, we got Ragnar's sister, Sefi Villars. Now, she is a very good character. I particularly enjoy her. She got quite a big arc during Dark Age when they find out everything that went crazy with her father. So, I'm gonna throw her in this category. She's pretty close to jumping to love them. She doesn't quite reach that level, and she definitely does not surpass her brother as far as how much I enjoy her character. Now we got Seraphina. Now this is kind of a disappointment character for me personally. I'm not gonna spoil anything. She could have been a very good character, but she just doesn't do anything that worthwhile. So I'm gonna throw her in the meh category. She had a lot of potential, but I don't particularly care for her character again, one way or the other. Now we got Howard to himself, Sevro. Now, my boy Sevro is going to get the iconic. Sevro is going to take his rightful place amongst the other Prime characters, with him going into the iconic spot, as is his destiny. Last couple of characters here. Tactus Alvilii Roth. He was a good character. There was a lot of potential for his character to be pretty cool. Never really got there. He's not quite as disappointing as like Seraphina, so I'm gonna throw him in the they alright category. Last character we're gonna discuss is Magnus Algrimus. Personally, Magnus is what he is. He's supposed to be like this new leader of the Golds when Iron Gold kicks off. He's kind of there, but honestly, I don't care for Magnus too much. He doesn't have sort of the same impact as his daughters Aja and Atalantia, so I'm gonna throw him honestly in the meh category. That's it. I don't care for his character too much just because he doesn't do a whole lot overall. Alright guys, thank you so much for checking out the video. I really enjoyed it, so if you guys did enjoy it, please do not forget, like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you do not miss a video. So if you guys have read the Red Rising series and want to make your own ranking list, I will leave a link to the one I used in the comments. You guys can make your own ranking list, and if you do, please send them to me. I want to see what you guys think if you've read the Red Rising series before. And if you guys want to discuss any of the characters, feel more than free to do so. If you guys want to chat with me on social media, my Instagram is Ryan Murray Book Reviews. Facebook is also Ryan Murray Book Reviews. My Twitter is Riley T. Murray, and my Discord that I just set up pretty recently is also Ryan Murray Book Reviews. As always, I will leave links to all those accounts down in the description. So that is going to be it for me for this week. Till my next video, I will see you guys later. Till then, have a great week, and don't forget, keep on reading.